Jim Conner here at Game Changer Silicon Valley. We're back at the RSA conference here at San Francisco. I've got a really interesting conversation here with Fraser Kayne of Bromium about protecting the everyday user from malware and other types of, shall we say, infections of all types of digital infections. So I was a little surprised. I thought you were talking about a web server, but you're talking about the actual PC that people travel around with. So why don't you give our audience a little explanation?
Well, thanks, Jim. That's right. We're talking about the PC because we believe people are the perimeter, so the protection has to follow the user around. What Bromium do is something called virtualization-based security. So what we do is we use the inherent benefits of the PC itself, the hardware, to create tiny virtual machines. We call them micro VMs, and that means every website you visit, every document you open from email or anything you download gets isolated and protected on the machine. It means you're immune to malware from the internet.
Okay. So let's, for my purposes and the audience, explain what a VM is and what this whole idea of virtualization is. It's not an everyday term.
Well, in terms, virtualization is something people may not realize they're using every day. So if you use something like a cloud server, virtualization is a way by which you can create a virtual machine, a machine that runs on another machine to get better efficiencies. This is what powers the cloud, what powers data centers, makes them more cost effective. And really what Bromium is doing is taking these concepts and running them on a PC to get that separation between tasks that are running on the system.
So essentially when some malware or some infection comes in or something from the internet, it's isolated, and is it true you would just kill that session?
That's absolutely right. The whole purpose of our technology is that detection is almost impossible for polymorphic, targeted, zero-day malware. But isolation works very well. So if you open a website in a micro VM, you can interact with it, you can print from it, you can copy and paste from it, but as soon as you delete it, it's gone. So the malware has nowhere to go, it has no data to steal, and it has no way to persist on your machine.
Mm-hmm. Now, most of us who are end users, we are aware of opening multiple windows, whether we're on a Mac or a Windows machine. Is a operating window or an application window synonymous with a virtual session?
Yeah, and that's the kind of the way it works, and that's why it's critical to understand micro-virtualization, because when you think about running things in VMs, you think heavyweight things, but actually what happens is it's very small, it's very efficient, and it's completely invisible to the user. So we can have dozens of micro VMs open for separate tasks, and if one of them is malicious, it only hurts itself.
So who are some of your typical users, or what is the type of protection they're getting by using this technology?
Well, we really started off with the most secure organizations and governments in the world. So we started off at the real high end for people who had serious security requirements. But now we've proven the technology there. We're really moving into the mid-market now, and anyone who really has a problem where users are running business apps, but at the same time, users need to browse, they need to download, they need to open emails. So it can be as simple as someone in the HR department opening up a resume.
Yeah. There's a lot of debate when a person from North America or Europe travels to certain Asian countries that, you know, the minute you cross that border, people are there are agents now on your iPhone or your cell phone and your machine, your computer. Is this a protection for that type of exposure?
Absolutely, and in fact this is where we started with a lot of organizations. Many businesses we spoke to had a lot of network-based security, but they were realizing that people are the perimeter. So when the people are at their desk, their network protects them, but when they're in an internet cafe or they're in a hotel in Southeast Asia, then the captive portal itself may be malicious. So we needed protection that follows the user wherever they are. So a lot of people talk about cloud security. We're interested in the cloud in your pocket and how we protect that.
It's a great analogy. Where are you guys based, and how prolific are you at this point?
Well, we're based dually in Cupertino in California, but also Cambridge in the UK. Our heritage is out of Cambridge University and the founders of the Zen hypervisor. So we're based in those two places, and we really are a go-to-market operation around the world just to see where we can help people.
Great. Fraser, for our audience, if they have some interest in following up, what would be the best way to contact you?
Best place to start is always the website, www.bromium.com. Start there. There's a link they can click on if they'd like to see a demonstration, and we'd be happy to help people.
Thank you very much. You've been very insightful. I wasn't aware of this technology and appreciate your time. I wish you every success going forward.
Thank you very much, Jim. Thank you, everyone.